complaining that how y'all have to go back working a 9 to 5 because you started balling and spending money like.
Unpopular opinion, I kind of like having a 9 to 5.
And I started to feel like I was living to make content,
Today we're gonna be looking at all the influencers quitting and going back to a 9 to 5. Me as a content creator for over 10 plus years, you see my plaque back there over there. I completely resonate with this topic. So I want to see why everybody's going back to a 9 to 5. Let's get into it. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new.
You're complaining that how y'all have to go back working a 9 to 5 because you started balling and spending money like your ass is Dwayne Wade or some shit. Y'all start getting paid from these social medias, and then it's like everything just goes out the window, and you just start feeling like you above everything as far as finances. Why, if you starting to get a $4,000 check, you think, oh, let me go get me a high rise in an expensive ass city that you probably paying close to that 4,000 check that you're getting or more, trying to keep up with the Joneses. I really don't understand that. Help me understand that. This girl just got on here talking about how she was making 60,000 from TikTok. I think that's a lot of damn money for each month. How do you blow that much money and now you're talking about now you gotta go back working a 9 to 5? Are y'all just dumb? Are y'all dumb? How hard is it to stay down until you can stack up some extra money? Like, and nobody's saying not to go, get you a new car, say if you don't got no car. Or go get you a used car because your car that you got is not properly working. Nobody's saying not to do those things or to go and put yourself in a better living situation. But it's like y'all get this extra little bit of money and y'all think y'all just overly rich now. Like, and then when shit starts slowing down, y'all looking like, who the fuck done did it? You did it. You did it. I say all that to say, y'all get on here and be fun.
The thing is, when content creators first get a big surge of money, they never touch that kind of money ever. They get it, and yes, a lot of them do blow it because they think it's endless. But me, I've done content creation for a long time, and I know that there's seasons of exponential growth and large incomes, but it's almost always followed by down months. So if you blow all your bread in the good months, the down months you will be suffering, especially if you can't replicate virality multiple times. Like if you go viral and you can't replicate it and you don't know why you went viral, but you did make 50,000 off a YouTube video because it got 2 million views, and you quit your job instantly. I think that's the problem right there. You need to hold on to the job until you can at least do it. I started content creation in 2012. I was full time in 2016. 4 years I did it before I felt comfortable enough to go full time. So it takes that type of time. It takes that type of time.
5. I know. Let me explain. I think a lot of people are glamorizing quitting their 9 to 5 the second they make money on social media, but there's nothing wrong with not quitting. And this is coming from somebody that probably could quit today and be totally fine with the money that I make on the internet. A lot of you may not know, but I am employed and my job gives me stability, a steady paycheck, and great benefits. In a world where net 30s, net 60s, and even net 90s are a thing, having a bi-weekly paycheck is amazing. With that being said, all that consistency lets me create from a place of passion rather than just chasing the next paycheck. There's no pressure, and I'm just saying yes to brands that I genuinely like. I think what we should start normalizing is having a 9 to 5 and doing social media. Let me be a testament that you still can be ambitious in your career and still build your own brand on the side. Having multiple streams of income is actually really smart and not something that you should be ashamed of. This is me just speaking. Obviously, this might change in the future. Right now, success doesn't have to mean quitting your job. It could just mean balance.
Be real, man. Net 30, net 60 are real. I literally haven't been paid from a company. I'm owed 5,000 from a company that I did a brand deal back in May, and I still haven't had that money. Now imagine if I was really depending on that to pay my bill. Yeah, yeah. She right. Them net 30s and net 60 contract, they almost always late. They take their time, they drag their feet. So when you got them brand deals, the brand deals are slow. So you gotta have a decent income, something else consistent coming in other than brand deals. So if you only relying on brand deals as a content creator, it's gonna be tough because you're at the whim, you're at the mercy of them paying you on time. Because like me, I'm literally owed $5,000 from a company that still ain't paid me from 3 months ago. So it's that's how it goes. That's literally how it goes.
Let's talk about why I decided to return to a 9 to 5 job after being a full time digital content creator. I honestly feel like this is not talked about enough because I know for so many people, the dream is to leave behind your corporate job, 9 to 5, and create content full time forever, hopefully. But what about those of us who got to live the dream but decided to go back? So I recently moved back to the US after living abroad in London for 4.5 years. And while I was there, I was a full-time YouTuber. So I was vlogging about my life abroad and uploading pretty much weekly. Living abroad was an amazing experience, y'all. But after a while, I started to realize like, I can't talk about this forever. I was starting to feel a bit bored and burnt out from sharing my day to day life because not every day was super interesting. And I started to feel like I was living to make content, like everything had to be content. And with my content being so focused on my personal life and sharing my day to day, it became really difficult, y'all, because I wasn't always mentally in the space to create content about my life. Like I dealt with a lot of challenges while I lived abroad. And if I wasn't in the place to create content, that also meant I wasn't in a place to make money. So it was starting to become an issue. I originally went to London to study for my master's degree and ended up staying way longer than I ever expected. But since the beginning, I had always told myself, if this ever stops making sense, I'm going back to work. I'm going back to a 9 to 5.
The con about life bloggers and lifetime type basically recording your life is that your life essentially becomes your job. Therefore, when is your day off? You don't have a day off because even if you took a vacation, why ain't I recording this vacation and making money from it? So it's almost like a switch never comes off. It's a switch that never will come off if you are like a influencer talking about your life or a vlogger. It's one of the things where it's endless. Like you can always make content and you always have to. You sick? Turn the camera on. I'm not feeling too good. Kind of sick, y'all pray for me and all that. It's in like that's the hard part about that style of content. That style of content can almost always burn out. Think about every big vlogger you've ever subbed to. They've stopped. They're most likely not doing it right now. A lot of they eventually stop because it ruins relationships. You'll see couples break up over it. It's a lot. It's chaos. So that's a different reason why. It wasn't necessarily that she blew her money. It was more the toxic lifestyle.
Entrepreneurship was not for me. And I am so okay with saying that because I feel like more people need to say it. When I owned a business, I could never turn my brain off in the moment. I was always thinking about stuff. Oh, I need to get this done. I need to get that done. Getting phone calls about the cars. Oh, this car broke down. It was too much. The idea of not knowing how much you're going to make this month or you might lose money this month, that made me want to vomit. You have to have a certain mindset to be an entrepreneur, and I did not have it. I am team 9 to 5 with a little bit of side hustle, clocking in and clocking out, and then having something on the side. I was able to take off 2 years just from doing that. I had my 9 to 5 and I was doing content. That was enough. To the entrepreneurs out there, I commend you because when I did it, I was like, why do people do this? It's a lot. It's a lot of ups and downs, very high highs and very low lows. I don't like that. So that's why I'm clocking in now. You get what I'm saying?
Successful entrepreneur, you can never turn it off. It can't go off ever. And that's the scary part, I guess, for a lot of people. You always have to be thinking about the next thing. If we're talking about YouTuber, TikToker, you're next after you post that video, you're already on the next one. Like, all right, what I need to post next? What I need to post next? What I need to post next week? Oh, this video did bad. Oh, this video did good. Why did this video do good? Why did that video do bad? Okay, now I need to think. You hanging out with family and friends, you're thinking about it. Like, dang, what I need to post when I get home? What I need to do when I get home? It can't shut off. It never shuts off. So some people prefer the structure of a 9 to 5. You don't really have to think about it until you get in. You get in, all right. I already know what I'm doing today. Bye, you're done. You go home. You don't have to think about it. Entrepreneur, Although it seems luxury because you can go around and go to Starbucks at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or go to Target at 10 a.m. when most people be at work, but your mind never shuts off. It's a lot of stress, and everybody can't handle it. Can't handle it. Everybody can't handle it, and it's real.
Put a finger down if you quit your 9 to 5, pursued content creation full time, did that for about a year, went broke, so now you have to go back to your 9 to 5. I'm gonna detangle my hair with you guys while I tell you why I'm leaving my social media full time to go back to a full time job. Now, just for context, I didn't quit my job to become an influencer full time. It was just a really, really toxic job. It paid nothing. At the time, my content was paying me way more than my full-time job. Prior to this, I asked a couple of other influencers who were doing this full-time, are they able to make a living from doing this? And they were like, yeah, they quit their corporate job years ago and have been able to make a living, and they've been doing great. And I was like, girl, say no more. I'm about to put this 2 weeks in right now. Now, when I quit my job, I told myself, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna have a consistent content schedule. I'm going to be consistent on all platforms. I'm going to finally get my YouTube up and running the way that I want it to. Like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this all the way. That did not happen. When you work for yourself, it's all on your time. There's no one to answer to. There's no strict deadlines outside of, like, you know, your brand partnerships. They typically have deadlines, but other than that, like, girl, it falls on you. If you don't feel like working for a couple weeks, there's no one that's going to reprimand you about that. I really didn't treat this like a job. And if you're not clocked into this, your engagement suffers, your money will suffer. I was super anxious because I was like, my engagement's down. I don't know what to post. I don't know where I want to take my personal brand. And I just like completely spiraled. And then my mental health was impacted. And if my mental health is impacted, I'm not showing up. So it was a lot. To make matters worse with all of this, my finances started to severely suffer. I was living off my savings for a little bit at the beginning of the year, and then in March, I had 2 big expenses that completely wiped my savings. That time, I wasn't too stressed because I had did 2 partnerships before that, and I was like, okay, the money's gonna come back. Like, I'll be able to put some more back into my savings and then pay my bills. One of the brands paid me 2 weeks late. The other one paid me a month late. And brands paying late just started becoming a common theme after that. There's a brand I worked with back in, actually, I won't even say the month because, like, I don't want to speak too much on that. Brand that I worked with months and months ago, and I'm still waiting on payment. All of that really put me behind in my life expenses. It's been super inconvenient and very stressful. Maybe I got on LinkedIn and Indeed so fast, started rapidly applying for jobs because
Like she said, she's not lying. Like it's just stuff like that. I explained earlier in the video. I'm still waiting on a payment right now that is 3 months behind. They're ignoring me in my attorney's emails. Stuff like that you have to deal with. Like, I'm just trying to get my 5,000. That's it, bro. That's it. Thanksgiving around the corner, Christmas around the corner. Can I just get my money? But that's what you have to deal with. Like exactly what she just said. Stuff like that. And if I was really depending on that 5 to live and pay my rent, like now, I'd be doomed. I told y'all, I'd be doomed. So, yes, brands take their time. They walk sometimes. Some of them are really on point and professional. But then you got the ones, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, we're working on it ASAP. So, stuff like that will really affect you. And like she said, there's no schedule. There is no schedule. You are the schedule. You must make up your own schedule. And if you don't, you don't. I mean, if you slack, your views go down, you go down. And that's this part that's hard. If your views go down, you go down. In most cases, unless you structure it in a way where you have your own products or something. And it's kind of a little different. But if you're relying predominantly on like ad revenue, brand deal sponsorships, you can't let the views go down. You must keep going. You can't miss.
After 7 years of entrepreneurship, I went and got me a job, and I have never felt more at peace. 7 years ago, I walked out of my warehouse job because I was struggling real bad. I'm like, something got to give. So I walked out, no plan, no nothing. I'm finna hustle it out. I'm gonna figure it out. And what did I do? I hustled it out. I figured it out, and I haven't worked a job in 7 years. But as I've gotten older, I have started to prioritize my peace. And I didn't have that peace of mind, constantly feeling like I'm chasing after something and constantly just always working. I got tired, and this is not to say that I'm giving up. I just get to do the things that I want to do with a peace of mind. I honestly feel like I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. I actually ended up getting the job that I really, really wanted, that allows me to be creative, that allows me to kind of do my own thing. I'm always right where I'm supposed to be because I'm not on my time, I'm not on my plan, and it's literally all God's plan.
More of the story, content creation isn't for everyone. If you don't like the fact that, it weighs on your shoulders and you must perform to make money and you can't turn it off and you can't miss and you have to lock in and it's all on you, then it might not be for you, man. Me personally, I've been doing it and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I love it. I love YouTube. So this is what I do. This is why it's my like fifth channel. So that's why I personally like it. Now, you want to see what's going on with these restaurants, man? You gotta click that video right there because it's insane. They empty. Ain't nobody going in there.